Hello everybody, welcome to this instruction video. In this video I'd like to show you how to make my French garden square. It's this square here. The square is completed as I'm showing it to you here, but you can easily grow this square further to turn it into, for example, a blanket, or if you want to use more squares to turn that into a blanket. I'll discuss those options towards the end of the video. If you'd like to know which colors I'm using, which yarn I'm using, which hook size, stitch count per round, all of those details, you can find that on my website. The link is in the video description. I'm now going to take you through round by round to make this square. Let's get started. Round 1, then new color yarn, put a slip knot on my hook, and then we start with a chain 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 chains. Close in the first chain with a slip stitch to form a ring. There you go. You're going to work in the ring, so if you pull it open you can see the little gap there. But we start with a chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. First chain 3 counts as a double crochet, and then a chain 1. Now in the ring we work again a double crochet and a chain 1. We're going to do that 5 times. So in that little gap work a double and a chain 1. So that was 1. We're going to do 4 more. That's 2, and this is 3, and 4, and there we go. Let me just count how many now I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I need one more. 5. That's a double and a chain 1. Now I'm going to close in the beginning chain 3, so we've got the chain 4, so take the third chain and close with a slip stitch, and that will give you then 6 double crochets and chains in between. I'm just going to come to the third chain here, insert my hook and close with a slip stitch. There we go. That's the end of round 1. Let's continue with round 2. Round 2. This round we're going to be working 2 doubles on every double and a chain 3 in between. So we start with a chain 3. This counts as a double crochet. And then in the same stitch where we're currently at, going to work another double. So here in the same position. That's 2 doubles in there. Then chain 3. And then come to the next double, so you're going to skip the chain space, come to the double and work 2 doubles in there. So 1, 2, then again chain 3, and then work 2 doubles on the next double. So you're going to skip those chain 1s. I'm going to be working in them in a moment. There we go. So I'm going to continue, and I'm going to work all the way around and then close on the first stitch with a slip stitch. Almost all the way around. My last chain 3, and then here on the third chain close there with a slip stitch. There we go. And now you can also fasten off, because the next round is a new color. Round 3, new color yarn on my hook. We're going to start with this standing popcorn, and we're going to do that in any chain space here from round 1. And we're going to work in front of the stitches from round 2, so that's important. So I've got a yarn over for the standing popcorn, so insert in that space. So I'm folding the rest to the back, and then work 5 doubles in that chain space. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then come to the first stitch to pick it up and pull through and chain 1. Then a chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means you've got 5 chains here next to one another. And then come to the next chain 1 space, so this space here, and there we're going to work a popcorn again in front of the stitches from round 2. So in here 5 doubles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open that up, come to the first stitch, pull through, chain 1, and now again chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then come to the next chain 1 space, going to be this space here, and that way you're going to go all the way around, and after your last chain 4, you're going to close here on the first popcorn with a slip stitch. It will be here. Insert your hook in there, and then close with a slip stitch, and then you can also fasten off. Round 4, new color yarn on my hook. I'm going to start in this space here. So this is the popcorn, so start before the popcorn in this space, both spaces here to the back. I'm going to cover both of them. Start with a standing popcorn. You see you've got both spaces here covered. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doubles, and again open up for the popcorn, come to the first stitch, pull through, chain 1. So that's the first standing popcorn. Then chain 2, 1, 2. Now we're going to come to the other side of the popcorn from the previous round, and again work into this space. We're going to work in the same space here that's to the back. So through here, I'm going to make another popcorn. So that's 1, 2. So both popcorns we're now making are in the same space from round 3, but they're in different spaces if you look at round 2. So it's important to just see where they are. And then chain 1 to complete. So you see they're on either side of the popcorn here, but here to the back they're in the same space. Now this we're going to repeat all the way around. So that's chain 2. Always chain 2 between the popcorns. I'll show you the repeat once more. So here's the next popcorn. So we're going to, in the gap here, make a popcorn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 1, then a chain 2, so you've got 3 chains next to one another, and then come to the other side, that's this side here, and work a popcorn in there. but you're still in the same space if you look at it from the back, from the space from round 2. 3, 4, 5. Go to the first stitch, pull through, chain 1, and then a chain 2. And now we're going to repeat again. So you're going to do this all the way around, then you'll have 12 popcorns. Do count them because it's easy to accidentally miss one of these. Then after your last chain 2, you're going to close here on the first popcorn, close there with a slip stitch, and then you can also fasten off. Round 5, new color yarn on my hook, and we're going to start in any chain space between the popcorns. Doesn't matter where you start. I'm going to start with this one here, and we're going to start with a standing single crochet, and then in the space we work 2 more singles, so you've got 3 in that space. Then around the popcorn, a front post single, so around the popcorn, a front post single. And then in the next chain space, 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. And then around the popcorn, a front post single. And repeat this all the way around. So 3 singles in the chain space and a front post single around the popcorn. When you're all the way around, close on your first stitch with a slip stitch and leave your yarn attached. Round 6, this round we're going to be making petals. To do a chain 1, this does not count as a stitch. Then in the next stitch, work a single crochet. In the following stitch, a half double. In the next stitch, 3 doubles. 1, 2, and 3. 3 doubles. Then in the next stitch, a half double, and in the next 2 stitches, a single. So 1, 2. And that's the full repeat that you're going to do all the way around. That will give you 8 petals. So the next repeat starts with a single, then a half double. So that means here you have 3 singles next to one another. In the next stitch, 3 doubles. 1, 2, and 3, then a half double and 2 singles. 1, 2. That's the repeat twice. So do this 6 more times and you'll finish here. You'll work 2 singles and then close here on your first single crochet, close there with a slip stitch and still leave your yarn attached. Round 7, again starting with a chain 1, which does not count as a stitch. Then in the current stitch where you're currently in, work a single crochet. Then in the next stitch, a half double. Actually in the next 2 stitches, a half double. And the next stitch, which should be here at the top of the petal, that stitch gets 3 doubles. 2 and 3. we're going to come down, so the next 2 stitches get a half double. 1 and 2. We've got these 3 single crochets here in the middle. They get a single, a slip stitch, and then a single. And this single crochet here, this is the first as the one that we started with. So now we're going to start the next repeat. So that means again 2 half doubles, and then the next stitch 3 doubles, and that you're going to do all the way around. So up. So here, I just need a bit more yarn. So here, this petal here, going to do this on all 8 of them. So it's just make sure always that your 3 doubles here, they're really at the top. If they're not, if they're one stitch to the left or to the right, you know that something went wrong here in the middle. It was probably with this slip stitch here in the middle. So here it's a single, a slip stitch, and a single. Go all the way around. When you get here to the beginning, we're going to close with an invisible join. I'll just show you how to do that. So I'm all the way around. I've just worked the last slip stitch. Now we're going to close on the first stitch with this invisible join. Just going to cut my yarn and then open up this stitch. To close with an invisible join, just thread yarn on a needle. Then come to the second stitch. So you've got here the single crochet, that's the first stitch. The half double is the second stitch. Go to that stitch and insert your needle back to front through that stitch. Then come to the last stitch worked. In this case it's the slip stitch, and insert your needle from top to bottom. And I'm just going to pick up an extra loop here to the back. So insert your needle through that stitch top to bottom and pull through. And now you've got these 2 loops here. They are going to fall over the first stitch. So I'm just going to pull that tight and fashion it until they're all the same size. There we go. And that was the invisible join. Now I'm going to work away this yarn tail, and then I'm ready for the next round. Round 8, you'll notice that the flower, the center of the flower is slightly higher than the surrounding petals, and that's correct. That should be this way, and that gives a bit of a 3-dimensional effect to the square. Now we're going to start with actually making it into a square. If you look at any flower petal, you've got these 3 double crochets. They're in the center. Take the center one and work a back post single around it. And the first one is of course a standing back post single. Then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we're going to work a treble in the slip stitch that's right here in the center. So yarn over twice, sorry I was slightly confused, double, treble, so yarn over twice, and then here's the slip stitch, insert your hook into that slip stitch. And if you find that difficult, you can also take the stitch that's just below it. So you can also take a space below if that's easier for you. That means inserting your hook here, if that's easier for you. And again, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come to the next petal, and again in the center of the 3. So the second double, work a back post single. And again chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a treble in the slip stitch. I'll continue this all the way around, and after your last chain 5, close here on your standing stitch. Close there with a slip stitch and leave your yarn attached for the next round. Round 9, so I'm going to do a chain 1, and now we're going to start the repeat. In this chain space we work 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 single crochets in the chain space. Then a front post single around the treble. Front post single. In the next space we work 1 single, 2 half doubles, 1, 2, and 2 doubles, 1, 2. Now you got here a front post single that gets a treble, a front post treble. So yarn over twice and a front post treble. Now we're going to come down and do the same what we did here but in reverse order. So that's 2 doubles, 1, 2, that is 2 half doubles, 1, 2, that is a single. Then a front post single here around the treble, and in the next chain space 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the last stitch of the repeat, a front post single here around the single crochet, around the back, so the back post gets a front post. There we go. And that is the full repeat, and you can see how I've already here made 1 corner. So everything you've just done here, do this 3 more times. That'll give you 4 corners in total. Then close on this first single crochet. So you're going to do a front post single around this stitch, and then close here on the single crochet with a slip stitch. So that stitch there, and leave your yarn attached. Round 10, again start with a chain 1. And we're going to start by doing a single crochet in the same stitch, the current stitch where we're now in at the moment, so this first stitch. Then a single in the next 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. To start the repeat, I'm going to work a half double in the next 2 stitches, then a double in the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and the next stitch should be your front post treble. That stitch gets 5 trebles. Yarn over twice. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the last one, 5 trebles. got 5 stitches here. We're just going to mark the 3rd stitch with a stitch marker, and that's just to help us find the corner later on. Just going to put a marker in there. Now we're going to come down and work a double in the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, then a half double in the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, and the next 15 stitches get a single. 1, 2, 3, 4, 15. 15 singles, and now we're at the same point where we were when we started the repeat here. So everything you've just done, do this 3 more times. That'll give you 3 full corners. And then when you're here, after you've worked your last stitches, you won't work 15, you'll only work 6, I don't know. And then close here on your first stitch, here, close there with a slip stitch and leave your yarn attached. Round 11. This round we're going to working a single crochet in every stitch, and in the corner we work a single, chain 2 and a single, and that'll bring us to finishing this part. Start with a chain 1, then in the current stitch work a single crochet, and then work a single in every stitch to the corner, and that will be 12 stitches. 2, 3, 12. Work the single in every stitch. Now I'm at the corner stitch. And this one gets a single, chain 2, this one single, chain 2, and then a single crochet in the same stitch. I'm just going to pop the marker back because it's just easier with the next round, and after that I'll most probably leave it out. And now again a single crochet on every stitch to go to this corner, and then here work a single, chain 2 and a single. Go all the way around, and when we're here at the beginning, we're just going to close with an invisible join. I'll show you how to do that. I've gone all the way around, and I've just worked that last single crochet there. Now to close with an invisible join, cut your yarn, open up this loop, and pick up with a needle. As always with an invisible join, come to the second stitch. So this is the first, come to the second stitch, insert your needle front to back. Then come to the last stitch worked, that's here the single, insert your needle from top to bottom to the back. And then pull those loops closer, that the stitch is the same as everything left and right from it. And then that completes the invisible join, and you can work away this yarn tail. Round 12, you're going to start in any corner space with a standing treble. So I'm just going to yarn over twice, then in any one of those chain 2 corner spaces, start with a standing treble. I'm just going to remove the marker. Now for the corner, work another treble, then chain 2 and 2 trebles. So the corner is 2 trebles, chain 2 and 2 trebles. Then for the edge we're going to work a back post treble on every stitch. We're going to skip the first stitch, by the way, skip the first stitch and then work a back post treble on every stitch till the chain space. I'm just going to yarn over twice. So we're going to skip that first stitch. So this stitch we're going to skip. Come to the second, so this one here, and work a back post treble. And continue and work a back post treble on every stitch till you get to the other side. And then you're going to again work a corner, so it'll be 2 trebles, chain 2 and 2 trebles. And you're going to continue like that and work all the way around. And you think, oh, there we go. So continue like this all the way around, because it really is a back post treble on every stitch. When you get to the corner, work 2 trebles, chain 2, 2 trebles, skip that first stitch, and then work a back post on every stitch. When you get to the beginning, we're going to close with an invisible join, and I'll just show you how to do that with a standing stitch, but it is the same as we've done before. So all the way around. Now for the invisible join, as always, cut your yarn and open up that last stitch. Then we're going to thread this yarn on a needle. Oh wait, I didn't do that. That one didn't want to go right. Just do that again. There we go. Now the invisible join is the same as always, in that we come to the second stitch. So this is the first stitch, then the second. Insert your needle underneath that second stitch. And then come to the last stitch worked, which is here the treble. Insert your needle from top to bottom, a little bit like to the back. Grab a loop or two. Oh. To the back. And now pull these loops tight until they are the same size as either side of the stitch. And then here to the back you'll see the start of the standing stitch there, and if you want to, you can unpick this knot, or you can just leave it and fold it to the back when you work it in. Because that completes this round. I'm going to work away these yarn tails, and then I'll see you for the next one. Round 13, new color yarn on my hook, and this round is maybe a bit similar to the previous round. We're going to work a corner that's 2 doubles, chain 2 and 2 doubles, and then work a back post double on every stitch. So I'm just going to start with a standing double for the first corner, and then work a second double in the same space, chain 2, and then 2 doubles in the corner. 2. And then that completes the first corner. Now it's a back post double on every stitch. And especially this first one, make sure to really grab that post properly. And then it's a back post double till you're to the other side. And when you are to the other side, work a corner again, so 2 doubles, chain 2 and 2 doubles, and repeat all the way around. When you get back to the beginning, you're going to close on the first stitch, which is in this case the standing double here. Close there with a slip stitch, and then leave your yarn attached for the next round. Round 14, we're going to continue with the same color, doing a chain 1, which does not count as a stitch. Then in the stitch where you're currently in, work a half double in that stitch. And then come to the next stitch and work a half double in there. There we go. Then the corner is 2 half doubles, 1, 2, chain 2, and 2 half doubles. 1 and 2. Then for the straight edge we're going to skip the first stitch and then work a half double in every stitch. So the first stitch is this one, going to skip that stitch, then come to the second, work a half double. You're going to do that till you get to the corner, and then it's the same corner as we just made, 2 half doubles, chain 2, 2 half doubles, go all the way around. Remember to skip the first stitch, and when you get here to the beginning, you're going to close with an invisible join, and again that means inserting your needle in the second stitch and then completing that invisible join. I'm not going to show you, I think by now I hope that you feel confident to do it on your own. Then I'll see you for the next round. Round 15, I'm going to work in the corner space, and we're going to start by working a standing V cluster. Now that means we're going to start with a standing, in essence a double crochet 2 together, that's what it comes down to. So I'm going to yarn over and pick up a loop, take off 2, and then again yarn over, pick up a loop, take off 2, and then take off all 3 loops. Chain 2, and then in the same space work another 2 double crochet cluster. So that's 1 and 2, and then take them off. So that was a standing V stitch. This whole thing here is a V cluster stitch. Now for the straight edge we're going to skip 3 stitches to start with, and then we work a V cluster. Now this first stitch here is very much hidden. Here, this stitch, we're going to skip that stitch. So this one, and then 1, 2. So that's it looks almost like you're skipping just 2, but it is actually 3. And then come to the next stitch here and work this clusters, this V cluster. That's 1 and 2. Take them all 3 off. Chain 2, and the other half of the V stitch. There we go. Now we're going to skip 2 stitches, so only 2 stitches, and then work a V cluster stitch. So 1, 2, skip, 1, 2, take them off, chain 2, and then come here to the next stitch, 1, 2, and take them off. And there we go. And this you're now going to repeat till you're to the corner. So 1, 2, skip, and then work a V cluster. And then in the corner you would again work a V cluster, and then you're going to repeat what we just did here. So it's always skipping 2 stitches, except here right at the beginning you're going to skip that invisible stitch, that hidden stitch as well. So it looks like 2, but it is 3. And we'll go all the way around. Like I said, in your corner, it's just take it as part of your stride. It's going to have 2 stitches left, and then you work the corner. Then on the straight edge, skip 3, a cluster, skip 2, a V cluster, etc., etc. Go all the way around, and when you're right back at the beginning, close here on this first part of the V stitch. Close there with a slip stitch, and then you can also fasten off. And what's important for the next round, we're going to be turning our work, so you'll have the wrong side facing. Round 16, new color yarn on my hook, and what's really important for this round is you have the wrong side facing. So all the nice details are on the other side, you have the wrong side facing, and we're going to be working in the chain spaces from the V cluster stitches. I'm just going to, doesn't matter which one you start, I'm just going to take this one here in the corner, but it really is arbitrary. And then we're going to work a 5 double crochet cluster in that stitch. So I'm going to yarn over because the first one is going to be a standing one. So there, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 6 loops on your hook, yarn over and take them all off. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to come to the next V cluster stitch, and again in the chain 2 space work a 5 double crochet cluster. So yarn over, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on your hook, yarn over and take them all off. And again chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this you're going to repeat all the way around. So that means here in the next V, in the next chain 2 space here, work a cluster, and then here a double crochet, 5 double crochet cluster, and here, and there are chain 4s in between. So you're going to do this all the way around, and after your last chain 4, close here on the first cluster stitch with a slip stitch. You can then fasten off and turn your work back for the right side facing. Round 17, important, you now have the right side of your work facing. That's important. And where we're going to start is in the corner. You check your work, you'll see in one of the corners you'll have a bobble. That corner bobble, that's where we're going to start. And we're going to start with a standing front post single crochet. So new yarn on my hook. So this corner bobble, scoop it from the front and work a single crochet around that. That's the front post single, then chain 2, and then another front post single around the same bobble. There you go. And then that is your new corner made right there. What we're now going to do is going to come to the next chain space here and work a single crochet in that chain space. A half double here between the let me call it the leaves of these. So here in this space we're going to work a half double in this. I'm going to yarn over, so in that space, and we're going to cover the chain space at the same time. There you go. And now again a single crochet in this chain space, and now you're just going to have to scoop that chain space a little bit out there. There we go. So it's a single, half double, and a single. And you're going to be doing that in every chain space till you get to the corner. So the next space is going to be a single crochet, then a half double. The half double is here in between the gap there, covering that chain 4 space, and then a single crochet, and that single you're just going to have to scoop that chain space up. And it could be that your bobble is to the back. In that case, just pop it forward, then you'll see that it nicely pops forward. I'll show you a few more times. So it's a single crochet, a half double in the gap between the V stitches, and then another single crochet in the chain space, and pop that bobble forward, and repeat this till you're to the corner bobble. And it's really important to take note of those corner bobbles that you don't accidentally miss it. I'm going to go all the way until I'm to the corner bobble, and that is this one here. So I'm going to make a jump in the video, then I'll just show you this corner again. So I'm now to the corner. So what I've just done here in this last chain space, I've worked that single, the half double and the single. Now I'm to the corner. In the corner gets a front post single, chain 2 and a front post single. There you go. And now you're ready for the next edge. So that's again single, the half double here in between, covering that chain space, and another single in the chain space, and pop all your bobbles forward if needed. Go all the way around, and when you're back right here to the beginning, close on your standing stitch, which is, where is it? Here. Close on that standing single crochet with the slip stitch and leave your yarn attached. Round 18, I'm going to continue with the same color. Start with a chain 3. Now this chain 3 counts as your first double. Then in the corner, going to work a corner, so find that chain 2 space in there and work 2 doubles, chain 2 and 2 doubles. That's a standard corner in that sense. There we go. Chain 2 and 2 doubles. And then for the straight edge, going to work a double crochet in every stitch until you get to the corner. So here's the first stitch. There. So work a double in every stitch till you get to the chain space, and then work the corner that we just did. So 2 doubles, chain 2 and 2 doubles, and go all the way around. So this is a nice easy relaxing round. And when you get back to the beginning, I'm going to close here on the top of the chain 3, so in there with a slip stitch, and then leave your yarn attached. Round 19, going to continue with the same color. Start with a chain 1. This does not count as a stitch. Then in the first stitch where you're currently in, so that's here the chain 3, work a half double. And then a half double in the next 2 stitches. So the first stitch here is a little bit hidden. There. And then the stitch after as well. The corner gets 2 half doubles, chain 2 and 2 half doubles. And then for the straight edge, we're going to skip the first stitch and then work a half double in every stitch to the corner. So that means this stitch here, we're going to skip that stitch, come to the next, and then work a half double till you get to the corner. When you're at the corner, you work the same as we just did, so 2 half doubles, chain 2, 2 half doubles, continue all the way around. When you're back at the beginning, close with an invisible join. So here if you look at the beginning, here's the first stitch, so you would insert your needle in the second stitch there, and then do the invisible join like that. So go all the way around, remember to skip that first stitch, and then you're ready with this repeat. So this is where you're at the moment. Now for rows 20 to 24, you're going to be repeating this part of the square. So the starting here with the V clusters right until the round that we just did. This band, you're going to be repeating that exactly another time. And if you look here at this square, which is, that's this part here. So you see here, this is what we've just done, and then this part you're going to be repeating. And this is also a tip if you want to make the square larger. just do more of these repeats. So if you want a very large square or even a blanket, just keep on repeating till the square has the size that you want it to be. Then you'll have all of these rounds with flower buds on the square. And at the same time, if you say, well, actually I'm fine with the size that the square has right now, you can also stop and just work the final round, which is one more round that I'll show you in a moment. So up to you. If you want to work the square as it is in the original design, then do one more repeat from the V cluster, the bubbles, and the 2 or 3 background rounds. Do one repeat, and when you've done that, then I'll show you the final round. Round 25, after you've done the repeat. For the last round, you're going to start in any corner space with a standing double crochet. There we go. And then in that same space, work 4 more doubles. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So in that space you've got 5 doubles. Then along the edge we're going to work a back post double on every stitch. And this first one is a little tricky, this half double here. So just around that post, work that first back post double. And then the next one, and continue, work a back post double on every stitch. And when you get to the other side, when you get to the corner, work 5 doubles in that corner, just like we started here. Work 5 doubles in the corner. And when you're finished, when you're all the way around, so it's 5 doubles in the corner, a back post double on every stitch, close here on this first stitch here with an invisible join. So you'd go over to the second to insert your needle here. Close with an invisible join, and then your square is all done. When you've completed your square, take a moment to block your square. You'll notice it's very wobbly, or not very, but it has a slight wobble to it, and just blocking that square will just help it to make it nice and flat. If you want to turn this into a blanket, like I said, this square, keep on repeating these bands of flower bulbs, or what you could also do is just work more squares, like work 20 squares or 16 squares, and then join those up to make a blanket. So many options available to you, or combine this with other squares from other designers that you love. So different options. For now I'm going to leave it at this with the square. So it brings us to the end of this video. I want to thank you for watching, and until next time.